Hey, everybody.
Hey,
It's
Hi.
good to see you all tonight. Glad you all could make it. Hope you all have had a wonderful day. If you will, wherever you're watching the channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you have a question, as always, if you will, please put a Q by it and we will get to it as soon as possible. It's good to see everybody that's jumped in and good to see you guys as always. I'm always excited to see you. Larry, you doing all right tonight, man?
I'm doing great, man. It's good to be here with you guys. It was nice chatting before the stream started. Catch up with you guys for a minute. But yeah, it's been a good day, man. We put out our results video today, trying to hit that 20,000 pounds. And we had a great July challenge. And things are going really good, man. Feeling good. Really feeling good. So, how about you, Kip? What you been up to, big dog?
Man, all kind of stuff. I was kind of a little upset because I had to work today, and so I wasn't able to get in on that long live stream with Carrie from Homestead How. And so then once I got home from work, so I got home from work after like 5 p.m. So I rushed and took a little jog and edited a video. Like I did the little jog, I filmed it. I was able to get here, edit it super quick, get the video up, and then as soon as I got the video up, I went live with y'all. So I'm excited. It's been a productive day. What about you, Dave?
Yeah, just been it's been pretty much the same for me this week. Just working away and getting the odd video done here and there. Learning about poisonous salads that you can get that we talked about before we went live, and stuff like that. Yeah. And Sean, what have you been up to?
Oh man, listen, I've been working. I was working all day too, So I was listening to the lives a little bit, talking on the phone, sending emails and doing, the work. So yeah, I worked all day long. I didn't think it was ever gonna end. But learning the job and everything is something different, something that I'm not really used to. So I'm having to learn the job as well as learn. You guys all know that watch my channel how technologically advanced I am. So you can imagine. Right. So I'm curious, Larry. I didn't even ask about that, but how did can you give us a spoiler alert about the weight loss challenge and give us a
I
heads up?
I ain't spoiling nothing. No,
Come
man.
on now.
You gotta go watch the video. And it's a
That's
good
right.
video. Yeah, Kip said it was good.
It was
That's
great.
right.
I watched it. I
Yeah,
watched it on my lunch break.
yeah,
Did you?
a lot. We needed like 3,600 pounds to reach 20,000 pounds of weight loss total in the last year and our last 5 challenges. So yeah, check out the video if you guys want to see if we made it. But I wanted to mention all you guys because we were talking about Kip's videos. Dave puts out a video every day. He's a friggin' beast. Then you got Kip, and Kip, you're almost getting one out like every 1 or 2 days, 3 days, and then you got Sean killing those live streams. I mean, you get all the good guests on, and I know that's a lot of work too.
Oh
So
yeah.
all you guys are killing it, putting out that content, getting the word out. It's really cool.
Sean doesn't sleep. I figured it out. Sean doesn't sleep at all.
He learned that from me.
He's not lying. He's not. He's telling the complete truth. I got to do better though. Honestly, I have been for a long time, for a couple months there. Yeah, for especially the month of July. July was hard. Like it was a hard month. Even as organized as I try to be and organized as I am. It was a tough month, stressful trying to fit everything in and work during the day and schedule everything around everybody else's schedule and my schedule and whatnot. And there's so much I fell behind on, but I'm trying to do better about making sure that I have time off. So for the last 2 weeks, I have done a few things. I had semi-retired Bob on, and I've got a few, interview stuff. I actually had a video come out with Courtney Luna and the Contoured Carnivore today. It was really good. We actually filmed that a while back though, so I think it's been 3 or 4 weeks since that came out. That was going on during the month of July as well. But I'm trying to be more conscientious about my schedule because I didn't realize how much it affects you staying that busy all the time, because in the grand scheme of things, I didn't feel like I had a whole lot scheduled, but it really was. Honestly,
Yeah.
it sneaks up on you. Dave, obviously you putting out a video every day. You know, what are some things that you do to try to keep do you plan ahead? How far out do you plan ahead and stuff like that?
So I'll let you in on a little secret.
All right,
Ooh,
I
hear this.
don't do much planning at all.
really?
Yeah. I'll just I'll be on the train or sitting at work, whatever it is, and I'll just be thinking, you know what, that might be a good idea for a video, and I'll kind of toss around ideas and get it up. Of course, the one thing, the interviews, I mean, that's like the live streams and of course the live stream interviews as well. It's like when you've got those scheduled in, that's what really I think that's what really makes your schedule feel, once you're doing it, feel overwhelming. Because it's like, I've got to do this, and I've got a set time that I've got to do this, and then that's going to go for at least an hour, and then maybe over that, and then I've got to think about the follow-up from that and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, that kind of overwhelm, it's easy to get to. But yeah, for videos that are not interviews, I generally don't do much planning. I just kind of get an idea.
I was gonna say, Dave, I go through periods of time like that where I'll be a little more spontaneous, just come up with an idea for a video and then just fire it up the next day. Or other times I plan stuff out a little more. But you're right about scheduling people. Once you're locked in on that time, you got to jump on it. So, but yeah, you put out a video a day, bam. I mean, that's dedication.
I think he mentioned this just before we went live. Just before we went live, I think Kip said about a thumbnail that he did. It was just kind of a last minute thing that he thought of. And one of the things that I think is really interesting about that is, and that video did quite well, right, Kip? Is often the videos that I've done best are thumbnails that I've kind of just set up at the last second. I've just gone, oh, maybe I'll go with that and see what happens. And those videos tend to do the best. So it's like sometimes when you put too much thought into things, it's often, when they don't go as well, is what I've found so far.
That is true. Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think that's kind of what was going on with my interviews. Like, no, seriously, like whenever I would bring someone on, even people that I know, like, whenever I brought Chafee on for the first time, like I had been watching Chafee for over a year, but like I still deep dived him because I still want to know, like, I want to know something that most people don't know. Hey, sweetie, man, that's awesome.
There's
your why. Wanted to come say hey just because I haven't seen her all day. I've been busy at work. I love you.
Say hi. Oh, that's awesome.
That's Kip's why right there.
That is definite. Bye. She's probably gonna cry, so I'm gonna mute myself for a minute, y'all. So y'all continue.
All right. I just want to say,
I remember those days.
I miss those days, man. My son driving, and my daughter. Thank everybody for the prayers that did, mention her in prayer. She is feeling a lot better now, and we're all ready for her to go back to school. She's watching somewhere, and get to going. So she's good to go. I appreciate all the prayers and everything, though.
I'm back now.
Well, you bring your daughter back,
She's something else. Last time when she come in here to give me a kiss goodnight or whatever, she started boohooing whenever she had to leave.
That's what's up. Hey, everybody. We got a whole bunch of people in here, and here I am just, going on about it. My mama's in here. My daughter's in here. I see everybody from the other channel. You got Becky and Patricia and Annabelle and Texas Donna. Hey, the Kirby Life. What's up? Even Carnivore Kip's in the chat. Oh, Marty Matt. Good to see all you guys. Cassie's up. Hey, Cass. Carnivore by the shore. it's good to see everybody. It's good to see, all the community coming together, and not just for YouTube, man, but like I love getting in the private groups, man. I'm not just a part of, like, I created one, obviously the Carnivorous community and then the Carnivore Quest, but semi-retired Bob's got one. I'm in there. I'm in Ready Set Ketos. I think those communities like that are, because I found Carnivore Quest when I did, and what it has meant to me and how it has affected and helped my journey and encouraged me and picked me up when I was down, and gotten I've gotten tips and advice and support, and and every once in a while I got calmed down when I was irate or sideways or wasn't having a good day. Those communities is where you're going to find a lot of stuff that you don't know that you need. And so I feel like all those are critical. So I like getting in those small communities like that. And what was some of the stuff that you guys found first? Was it like the YouTube and the community here? Are you guys in groups, other I know some of that, but for them, for the audience, what are some of the things that helped you guys?
I didn't join a group at first. At first, I just started watching YouTube videos, and because before I came to Carnivore, I had went back and forth with Keto, so I watched a lot of like Thomas DeLauer and Dr. Berg, and eventually it led to me watching Dr. Ken Berry. And then once I started watching more of his videos, eventually decided, hey, I'll try Carnivore. And I tried Carnivore, but whenever I would try to get in his little live stream and chat with everybody, but I never would join any of the like little private groups that you paid for or whatever. I was always real cheap and was like, man, I'm not going to spend the money or whatever. So I would just, try to get a comment in when I could, but I was having a hard time getting some things answered. So I eventually just started watching a lot of smaller channels. And then like I started watching Carnivore Quest channel. I'm not just saying that because they're here or Larry's here, but I actually started watching his channel, and there was a couple other ones. And Larry was actually nice enough to message me back and stuff like that. And we started messaging through Messenger. And then eventually it led to me creating a channel. I don't have time. I don't know how y'all have time to have Facebook groups and stuff like that, because it takes all I can do to work and, with family and doing YouTube videos. I don't know. I commend y'all for doing it, because now I am in the channel or in the groups. Like, well, I'm only in two groups. I'm in Larry's and the Carnivore Quest group, and then I'm in yours, Sean. And that they help me, and I get to see different testimonies from different people. But I haven't started my own group or anything like that. I'm a long ways off from having the time to do that. What about you, Dave?
So I think community is super important with this, and I think community is the thing that's really kept me on the straight and narrow, because it feels like, even as good as I feel on Carnivore, you also feel somewhat accountable to other people, but I'm not actually a member of any communities. I'm now a member of the Carnivorous community, and there's a few Facebook groups here and there that I follow, but I haven't been an active member of any group, and that's just because when I started, I kind of went down the Ken Berry rabbit hole, and I started watching a lot of Bart K and stuff, and there was just so much content that and Carnivore Quest as well. There's just so much content that there's just no way that I would have had time to do anything else at that time. And because I was just like using my train traveling time or whatever to listen. And now the amount of content that's available is just, it's so much bigger than it was even a year ago. And so I'm just kept busy with that. How about you, Larry?
Yeah, it's crazy how much the space has grown. in the last year. We started our channel 2.5 years ago, and I remember at the time the only other carnivore channels that were like, just starting out that I knew of were Carnivorous Chef. He had like a couple thousand subscribers, and I believe that was it. And there was nobody that started, out really obese and starting the channel, and that's what we did. And we did really good. We lost a bunch of weight, but then we fell while we were on YouTube, and Cassie and I gained 100 pounds. And that's when I just really made the decision. I started recording daily videos from my car for accountability to my audience, because no more cheating. I did not want to fall off the diet again. I didn't want any more excuses. So I made a daily little videos. I'd be out working and post it from my phone, and I'd get a couple comments back, people rooting me on. So I was really kind of selfish, the first like month, where I was just looking for accountability, really. And then Cassie and I, as we kept the journey going, we started seeing that we were helping people. And that in itself was started to be a motivation. But when I first started our Facebook group, um, I really just wanted it to be an extension of our comment section on YouTube, because, you can't share pictures, stuff like that, of course, in the comments. And when I started it, I wanted the only on ramp to the group to be like a link in our description. And that worked for a while, until you reach like 500 members, or is it 1,000, where you'll actually show up in search, even if you're a private group on Facebook. And once that happened, we started getting people in that didn't even know about Carnivore Quest. And now I'm trying to trim the group down, because I like a smaller vibe. You get thousands of people and you don't have those personal relationships, those can't blossom. So it's like, I'm a moderator in Sean's group now, and sometimes I'll go over there and hang out for a while, because, there's less people in there. And, wait till it grows, Sean. Well, I mean, Sean was our first moderator in our group. And while he wasn't able to work because he hasn't lost his weight yet, he dedicated a lot of time to the community and inspired so many people long before he had, a YouTube channel. So, but yeah, I was a little selfish in the beginning, but but you, Sean.
Well, yeah, obviously, is better than probably anybody on the panel here tonight that the group was instrumental for me. After finding Ken Berry, that's one of the things that I heard him say. Probably one of the first couple of times I watched him was how big community was, and how big accountability was, and how things like that. And honestly, man, we're not meant to do life alone. We are a herd people. That's just how we are and how we operate. The worst things that happen to us in our life, the first thing that it causes us to do is isolate. Anytime you see human beings isolating, it's never a good situation. And as much as all of us say and use the words, I love being by myself. I get what you're saying, but in real life, like, that's not a real thing. Everybody needs their alone time. I would agree with that. There's sometimes I have to get alone to myself and get off by myself. That obviously is a thing. You need your alone time every once in a while, but doing life alone is miserable, and isolating is one of the things that should be a big red flag and indicator. And that's how I spent 3 years of depression and anxiety and PTSD and just being captivated and encapsulated and however you want to describe that thing. And coming out of that, the community was huge. Interacting with people, even though it was online, it was people that have started the journey with me at that time and traveled from that time. And there's many of them that are in the comment section, even probably today, that have seen the entire process. And so, yeah, I think it was instrumental, not just for me, but like, I remember making the comment in the group, y'all are going to get sick of me, because I'm going to encourage people. I'm going to be excited. I'm going to, and it worked. And that's what that's some of the stuff that I try to pass on to other people, stuff that you don't think about, especially whenever you spend a long time in isolation. So yeah, I think it's absolutely critical to have community, and the smaller that you can make those groups, the better. I'm always looking for ways to do that. And whenever I created the group Carnivorous Community, it was specifically designed to be just like Carnivore Quest. And then I brought, I was hoping you guys, which I knew you would, come over, and I want moderators like you guys and admins like you guys, Kip and Larry and Dave, and people who are actually walking the walk, talking the talk, being the example. Not saying you know it all, not saying you're a doctor, not saying you're a nutritionist, but you're living the life. And I trust you, and you give good advice. And it may not even be nutrition; it may be in something else that you do. It may be in just regular. Just you're great at talking to this group of people. That's what I tried to enable and put into place in that environment. Not just carnivore, but like for keto, for ketovore, for carnivore. I don't know anything about ketovore. I do, but like I don't know. I haven't done ketovore. I haven't done keto. I haven't done some of these other things. But I do think that it's important for people that are doing that to be involved in this community, because it's on the spectrum of how we eat. And I want those people to have somebody that can answer some of their questions. I can't do that a whole lot because I haven't done it. And I want people who, have done that, or that was just my idea, and I obviously don't know it all either by any means. I'm just going with what I feel like is right and trying to make the best decisions with what I got to work with.
Well, you know it worked for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's like, when Southern Ketovore was our second moderator, and it was so awesome to have her in there because she's so knowledgeable about, that facet of the proper human diet, and so you're totally dead on there, because none of us know anything. Yeah, not everything anyway. So,
right. Thank you for the super chat, Texas Donna. We appreciate that. I just got bone density results, and it has improved. I just got my annual checkup, and I'm in my 50s, and amazing health. Couldn't do it without the accountability and support of this community. Absolutely. That's amazing. And we appreciate that. And it's so good to hear those good testimonies as well. I don't know why my picture, usually the picture moves up for some reason. I don't know if it is on you guys' screen or not, but it's not on mine tonight. So I'm going to take it down so I can see y'all's face again. But thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate that. Yeah, the testimony, like, what is that? I'm going to get real personal with you guys for a minute. Like, how many emails do you guys get a week from subscribers, from other people in the community, stuff like that, roundabout? Kip, you?
I probably get less than both of those guys because I don't have as many subscribers as they do. But I don't know. I probably still get like, well, I mean, I'm not counting like little ones that just say, "Hey, great job, I watched your video," but like ones that actually get into depth of conversation and telling you really, really awesome things. And telling you how your channels helped them and asking advice, and like more than just saying, "Hey, great job," probably somewhere between 25 to 40. I mean, it can be more than that, but I'd say probably about 25 in a week's time of different people reaching out, telling you like really, really cool things. Now, I know these guys is probably like a bunch, but I'm excited to hear it.
Well, and I guess what I should have, more of how I should have phrased that was, and what do those mean to you? Like, can you describe that a little bit for everybody? Because I mean, I know how I want to get to me, but like I want to hear it from you guys as well.
Well, I'll add to that then. It means the world to me. One of the coolest things ever is whenever somebody tells you that they saw your video, and just a second ago, I seen in the comments, and someone said that their channel, my channel was one of the was the first carnivore channel that they saw on YouTube, and that they're 11 days in. Whenever I hear people say things like that, it touches my heart greatly, because I mean, I know what it's like to be in terrible health, terrible shape, and feeling hopeless. And if we can just help one other person, it may not be 50 people at a time. It may be one person today and one person tomorrow. We can change a lot of lives, and just one person that you help can change. There's no telling how many people. So that's one of the best things. That's better than all the other things and all the views, is to know that it actually helps somebody. Because if they just say great job, I mean, that's good, but like, did it actually help you? If it helped you, that makes it so much better. Anybody else got something they want to add on that?
For me, yeah, about the same number as same number of emails coming through as Kip. But yeah, and the feeling when someone says, you know, I started Carnivore, I'm a week into it, or I'm 2 weeks into it, and this is already better and stuff. It's like, that's amazing, you know, that, you know, just making some little video or being on a live stream can help people. It's such a nice feeling. Larry, how about you? I mean, you've, I guess, out of all of us, you've been doing this the longest with your channel and stuff and your group, right?
Yeah, and you know, as far as how many emails come in, it goes, you know, ebbs and flows. Like, it depends what we've talked about on the channel recently. About a year ago, when I was finally able to clean myself in the bathroom, I did a video on that, and I had an unbelievable amount of emails. And the same thing when whenever I talk about my drinking, you know, being sober 8 years, I get a lot of emails from people who are struggling. But and when we run our challenges, you know, people sending in their weight loss and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll tell you, it's the most rewarding thing there is. I mean, about doing this on YouTube. And it really is an amazing thing to know you've been a part of somebody's journey. You know, Dave, I saw your Instagram the other day where you jumped off the stairs, you know, and you landed, you know, and I was like, man, that, you know, I mean, stuff like that is just incredible.
Yeah.
You know, and to hear people, you know, give their, I've had emails that are pretty long. I'm sure you guys have too, of people, you know, pouring their heart out to you and what they're going through. So it's by far the most rewarding thing about having our YouTube channel. And, you know, we can go to bed at night, you know, knowing we helped a lot of people, and it makes it worth it. So what about you, Sean?
Yeah, 100%. Like, and for me, yeah, I have gotten, I can't tell you how many, and it started with, because I started the channel off with the giveaway and suggested, you know, the emails come in, and from that point on, like, it just excelled, you know. And so honestly, I have never, like, I had to set up, what is it, the rules on an email. I don't, most people may not even know what that is. Maybe I'm the last one to find it. Maybe I'm the last member, I don't know. But I had to set up rules on my email account to put them in a specific folder, because if I don't send all the emails like from YouTube address like that, it will so, like, it'll inundate that email, and I can't find anything else in the email. But I will say this, I have sat and read some of the emails that have been sent to me until it literally brought me to tears. Seeing where people are, not just seeing where they are in the condition they were in, but seeing some of the stories and reading some of the people who really got a hold of it, and their lives have already been changed in just a short, you know, 2 or 3 months. And some of those stories are so, like, because for me, I want to see people succeed. Like, that's honestly 100% of the reason why, you know, you could testify, Larry, to this, even because we've talked about this over the last year, time and time again, about doing a YouTube. I really didn't have an idea or have a plan to start a YouTube channel, but I felt obligated to share it with the world. And I felt like this message needs to be told. It needs to be, um, it needs to be real. It needs to be honest. It needs to be put out there in a way that people can see clearly what it is. And I feel like that's something that I have a responsibility to be a part of. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. You know, it's not that I'm qualified to some degree more so than anybody in this comment section or anybody, whatever. Yes, I've had some great things happen. Yes, I've had some great success, but that doesn't qualify me any more than it does anybody else who has had success as well in different ways. You have been helped by something that makes that something that you've been helped by work. And we have to share that. That's our responsibility because we're the obtainers of that. And I feel like, you know, that's where my heart is. And so getting those emails, and I was reading one even today from a man who has, you know, seen some great results even in the last week. Okay. And reading through that email, I read his email before I responded 3 times because like I was like, that is amazing, you know, what he's saying in this email. And I feel like that it really, I find inspiration in those things and drive because for every hateful email that I get or hateful comment that I get, I can assure you I get 2, 3, 4, 5 times as many people saying good job, people saying, hey, keep going, you're helping people. Hey, you know, you said this and I don't even remember saying it and it helped me to do this. And like that means the world, and it really does go a long way. And so it does mean the world to me as well too. I better get to some of these chats, man. Everybody's you start yelling at me. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get us all behind. Sorry, I could talk forever about that though. PNW Health. I cheated on carnivore diet and ate mango habanero wings. Next day, I had constipation and my life. Now 2 weeks later, I feel like I'm walking with broken glass up my butt. I was close to giving. Excuse me. I was close giving up. Any tips? Dave, what you got?
I would say just the last thing you should do is give up. Just stay the distance. You know, it's giving up is not going to make things any better. It's potentially going to make things worse. I sympathize. I sympathize with the feeling. That must be horrible. But I would, yeah, I would try and do whatever you can to, you know, relieve the constipation in the meantime, but stick to carnivore. Kip, what do you think?
Well, listen, to anyone watching this, like I don't ever want to portray my carnivore journey like that I've never made mistakes and that I've never cheated, because I have multiple times. And you got to realize, like, I struggled with like sugar and carb addiction for years and years and years. So uh I wish I was, but I wasn't like Kerry from Homestead Hal that just took a vow to never have anything that has a speck of anything in it for the rest of his life, and he stuck with that. That's incredible. I made it like a few months in, and then I messed up, and then I made it a few more months, and then I had another slip up, and then I made it 2 or 3 more months, and then I had one more slip up. So I mean, there may come a time where I have a slip up again, but I mean, but if I look over the past 7 months, it's been like 3 or 4 times in 7 months. And yeah, I'm not going to say that I'll never slip up again, and just like I'm not going to never say that that person that asked the question may not never slip up. But just because you slip up don't mean that you have to give up, like Dave was saying.
Mhm.
So if you have a down day today, get up tomorrow, because where the problem comes in is if you had that down day today and you let it continue tomorrow and the next day and the next day, because one terrible meal or even one terrible day, if you have a day where you eat 50 donuts if you want to, it's not going to matter in the grand scheme of that happened twice in a year's time versus you had 363 days where you were just giving it everything you had. But where it is going to mess you up is if it's happening every week and you have to find a way to you know what you should be doing, or else you wouldn't be asking questions. You just gotta man up or woman up and do it and stick with it, and don't give up even if you make a mistake. What about you, Larry?
Any tips? Well, the first one's no cheating, no sugar, no carbs, no cheating. I found that Cassie and I cannot cheat on the carnivore diet, at least not now. One cheat day leads to a cheat month and then multiple months. And, another thing is learn from it, right along with not cheating anymore, learn from that mistake. And I got to tell you, I've had periods of time where I've eaten extremely clean and then I have a little hot sauce. And boy, it don't. Yeah, I learned from that too. I won't do that again. So yeah, just any mistakes you make, just make sure you try and learn from them. But you're not alone slipping up. The majority of people, the vast majority of people slip up, especially if they're coming from a place of obesity. So, it took Cassie and I three genuine attempts at the carnivore diet to finally get in a groove and get some progress going. So just hang in there, PNW.
Dave, what you got, bro? You got any advice for us?
Oh no, nothing. Nothing outside of what I mentioned. Just get back on the wagon. Would be fully what Kip was saying. That just get back on the wagon. Everyone can have a slip.
Everybody
and the problem happens is when you start beating yourself up about it and say, well, I messed up. I had the donut. I'm just gonna have 16 more. And I'll worry about it later, and then later never comes because there's always another 16 donuts over the horizon.
Yeah, we all know what plays along in your head. It's like, I've already blown it. I've already eaten this. I'm probably out of ketosis, and that just plays with you, And so that's how it was for Cass and I. It's like, well, we already blew it. Might as well. We can have one more meal, and then the next day. Do we get back on track? No, we talk each other, into, well, why don't we haven't been out to eat in a long time. Let's go get one more meal. And then, the slippery slope, it starts.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Man, I'm pretty tough, I feel like, but I don't believe you when you say you've never slipped. Like I really have a hard time with that. Like you never had any, like you went carnivore and you never had anything, not even one thing ever that was not an animal product. Come on now. Like I'm pretty tough, man, but I ain't gonna lie, I have and I talk about it because once you start eating like this, like it's great. It changes your life. And I desire to have my eggs and my beef every day. That's what I still eat. But every once in a while, that Texas fajitas kicks my name in. You know what I'm saying? Like we've talked about it. I don't emphasize it and I don't glorify it. And I'm not proud of it. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And I feel like being honest with ourselves is a huge step into the mental framework that we have to set up to be able to make those effective and lasting changes in our life. I'm sure there are people that probably, and they may hit up the comment section, let me know. But
I think like if I what you just mentioned there, Sean, if I think about that, I don't think that anyone doesn't have a slip up. Like for example, in 14 months, I haven't had anything that I know of that was carbohydrate, but to get to that point, the number of slip ups that I had over a period of 5-10 years is the number of times I ran out of wagons to follow.
Right.
So I think what often happens is like when people say like I've never slipped up, maybe they like during the current period they haven't, but maybe like I wouldn't be able to count the number of times I have.
Like I'm gonna show y'all something right now that I consider a slip up after I got to talking with Sean a while back. He's got his eyes closed. Look, Sean has helped me a lot along the way, and for the past ever since like before June, I started drinking only water or plain carbonated water. But today, before the video, I was like, I'm gonna drink one of these things called a Celsius, and it actually has, I think it's got like, I don't know, it's got carbonated filtered water, citric acid, natural flavors, and the terrible, terrible sucralose in it. And so this is, to me, this is like a form of like, I shouldn't be drinking this, but I'm going to have this today, and then I'm not going to go back to it after today. And, you know, I can live with it tomorrow. I don't know what I was in the store and I was just like, you know what? I started a new job this week. I'm just this is my celebration of making it the first week at the new job. I'm going to have something. So it's kind of like a guilty pleasure, I guess. But I think I'll live.
Oh, you going to live. You might not want to. It's probably going to tear your stomach up. No, I'm just kidding.
Probably, maybe.
No, I mean, and let's be honest, man. Like, you know, you get used to eating like this, and if you do have a slip, most of the time, one slip's not going to mess you up. However, you know, it's the mind frame. You know, in that book that I was reading, Atomic Habits, he brings up a crazy, you know, illustration that kind of every time I get to it, I listen to it and I rewind the book and start at the chapter before it and listen again because, and I haven't made it past like the second or third chapter. I think I'm in chapter 3 for like a month now because I get right there and I rewind it back and I listen to it again because what he's saying is, he says there's a difference in the way that you look at how you respond to things. There's a difference between somebody offering you a cigarette and you say, no, I'm trying to quit, and the person who says, I don't smoke. You see that both of them responded in a I don't want the cigarette kind of way, but one of them says, I don't smoke. And one of the responses is, I'm trying to quit. One of them says, I'm a smoker, but yet I'm trying to quit. One of them says, I'm not a smoker anymore. I'm not a smoker. I quit. And it's how we look at the issues that we're trying to overcome. And that brings up a killer point, you know, in relation to this kind of stuff, you know. I don't think that Chafee is as hardcore as in his way of thinking. I just think that that's how he views the way that we are supposed to eat versus other people who say you define the same things that he's saying in a different way. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like it's a lot about who we are, who we want to be, and how we look at the situation too. So I'm getting behind, boys. Y'all got to straighten me out. We can talk for everybody. Carnivore Scott, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Appreciate you very much, and glad you're in here. Hello, gentlemen. 2 weeks in, and Carnivore 60 years old today, 61 tomorrow. Well, happy birthday, my friend. Awesome
Happy
job getting started, getting going, and I hope you have the best birthday yet, my friend.
Congratulations, Scott.
Absolutely. Enjoy yourself. Have a big, huge steak. How about I hope it's great for you. Do what now?
I said no cake.
Sorry, can I just add something to the discussion you were having about Atomic Habits there, Sean?
Yeah, jump in, bro.
If you're not already, I recommend that you sign up for I've forgotten his name, James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, his 321 newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out like it would be, I guess, Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, US time. And it's awesome. It's like 3 kind of really good kind of motivational things from his books, 2 quotes from famous people in history, and 1 question to ponder for the coming week. And it's a really, really good email that's definitely worth subscribing to. It doesn't cost anything. So yeah,
absolutely. And what was that? You said 321 newsletter by James Clear.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure if you go to jamesclear.com, there's a sign up box there.
Absolutely. We'll check that out. That's good stuff. Thanks for the tip, buddy. Oh, Holy Mark, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, friend. Love these group live streams. Y'all are like the Avengers of the Carnivore community. Awesome, man. I want to be Hulk. You know, that's all I got to say. I want to be Hulk. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, I love it, guys. I love it too. Kathy, thank you so much for the super sticker.
Wow.
Appreciate that. You guys are being generous and awesome tonight. We appreciate that. It definitely goes a long way. Bezo, hi. I love all your channels. What would be your comment on most of the haters that meat-based diet promotes? Did I read that right? What would be your comment on most of the haters that a meat-based diet promotes colon cancer, parasites, heart attack, and high cholesterol? Who wants to jump in on that one first? Go ahead, Dave.
There's absolutely zero evidence of that being the case. You know, if meat causes, you know, if there's evidence that meat causes colon cancer, parasites, heart attack, and high cholesterol, there's an equal amount of evidence that the base of the pizza also causes it. You know, so it's like, yeah, there's no evidence that meat is like any more of a cause of that kind of thing than anything else. Kip, any thoughts?
Well, I mean, like, it's just ridiculous to me because, I mean, we didn't get here as a people eating kale all the time. Like, I mean, people were hunting. They might have been gathering a little bit, but in hunting and gathering, they was hunting first. I mean, me, if I go hunting, I'm looking for meat. I mean, if you see a berry because you couldn't find no meat, that's one thing. Or I mean, you get some mushrooms or whatever along the way, maybe, but that's not what you're excited about. You're excited about the meat, and it's been that way for years and years and years. So you can't tell me that suddenly now in this part in history, all of a sudden meat is such a problem. It's not the meat, it's everything that people are having along with it. Like they're having that Big Mac or they're having that Whopper, but what about the bread and what about the fries that they're having with it? That's what people forget is all the things that people are having with that meat. Like whenever they have the pizza and they have the pepperonis on it or whatever, you ever stop to just think, well, what about the carbs and all that stuff that you're having? Maybe that's the problem, not the meat, but people just don't want to hear that. What about you, Larry?
Yeah, I think you're dead on there. You know, I mean, before the carnivore diet and before keto, we just shoved processed garbage down our throats. That's not even real food. You know, once you're on the carnivore diet a while, most people just come to the realization that the way they feel, this is the way I should be eating, you know. And then I would also say, just look around the community. I mean, now there's so many YouTube channels popping up, people showing their lab work, and there's more and more testimonies. So yeah, and just look around, man. You know, the evidence is all over. You know, and if the haters want to hate, well, maybe I'll just make a video about them.
That's right. That's right. Do I get to respond to that? I don't
Go
know.
ahead.
Like
Sure
honestly, dude, I want a hammer. Where's my hammer? I just went from Hulk to Thor in like 2.2 seconds. No, seriously though, I'd be like, well, that's cool because you know my TSH is good, my T4s, my free T3s, my I'm off of all my blood pressure medication. I'm off of my gout medication. My blood pressure is lower now than I could ever remember it being whenever I recorded it. That's even off the medication. I no longer have sleep apnea issues. I no longer have depression. I no longer have high uric acid. How do I even list it all? I should have wrote it down. Seriously, like, you know, I reversed the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Oh yeah, what's that word? Diabetes, the A1C. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Gone. So
Me too.
you know yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Kip. So you know what? I could get snatched up by a pterodactyl on the way to my car to go somewhere tomorrow. I'm more worried about that than I am having a heart attack because I'm eating red meat and fatty ruminant meats. All my lab work is better now than it's ever been, and I was tracking it. I feel better now than I've probably ever felt. My skin looks better. I'm more healthy. I get around better. My mood is more stable because let me just tell you right now, there've been some things that come on, and even whenever you're a carnivore, even whenever you're trying to be a great example for everybody, that might hit you sideways, and you might, like, I can tell you right now how I would have responded 3 or 4 years ago. And so I can even tell a difference. And if I can tell a difference in my own response before it even happened, that's saying a whole lot. So not just the things that you can track, not just the things that you can see and look at, but it's all the things that you don't recognize until somebody else points out and makes you aware of too. So that's kind of how I respond. If I respond, because I don't have time to focus on haters all the time. I'll be honest with you. I really don't. I don't have time for that. There's too many people hurting. There's too many people that are in the position that we were all in when we started this. There's too many people that don't have 6, 8, 10, a year to figure things out while nobody's saying anything and telling them the truth. So that's kind of how I view haters. But
Sean, can I just follow up on something you said? If you are going outside and you're going to get attacked by a pterodactyl, you've got a much better chance of fighting it off after eating some steaks than you would if you just consumed a bucket load of kale.
You got that right. It's almost like I'm tempting him. So get you some.
I'm just gonna start tossing him steaks so that he'll eat the steaks instead of me. But if I just had a bag full of lettuce and I chunk that at him, he's not gonna care.
Good point. Good point.
Neither is anybody else. He's thinking, oh my goodness, that's awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, let's see here. Patricia, thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Matt, thanks, Dave. You were the one that inspired me. Started in the middle of January, down 50 pounds. All that's left is a small beer.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Great job. Look at there, Dave. I mean,
right.
Speaking for itself, man. That's all you, buddy. I mean, thank you guys for all the super chats and stuff like that. Let's see. There's one more. Kip, thank you so much, Kip. Appreciate that. The super sticker, you're awesome. And you guys are phenomenal. I guess I need to go back over to the other side. You guys are gonna have to help me with this because I jumped over to see the super stickers and lost all kind of track of where we were with the questions, and I know I missed a bunch. So you guys bear with me.
You're fine. You'll find them.
That's right. I'm gonna everybody take a tactical timeout.
Let's have a look. 9:49 Eastern time. Question for you, Sean.
Yeah, let's go. I'm getting there. 9:49
from Luman.
I'm at like 47. Guys, Kip is so cute. I want to hear.
I want to be his man.
That's what I'm talking about. That was worth stopping for. Good stuff.
Right. That ain't what she meant, y'all. Get y'all's mind.
It just happened to catch my eye, brother. I'm just saying. You are getting handsome, man. You sent me that picture, man. I didn't know who it was. I thought it was like your skinny twin brother. He sent me.
I told you I just Googled a guy and found somebody that looked kind of like me and just sent that to you.
I'm still going to the question. I just wanted to highlight that because that's awesome. 23 years of type 2 diabetes, and hey, I love to see it going. It took in about 4 to 5 months. I went from right at 7 A1C of right at 7 to an A1C of 5.3, and now it's at a 5.2, and it may be lower than that. I didn't even have it tested last time that I went to the doctor because I'm not worried about it because I'm not eating anything to make it a problem.
I remember, Sean, when you saw the doctor and you got those results and you called me and you told me, and you're like, we were supposed to have our second interview and you're like, I want to hold on. I want to say those results, but it ended up not happening soon enough, and so you let the group know, and man, you were stoked. I was so happy for you. So definitely, sir, you can reverse that type 2 diabetes. I've seen it happen quite a few times.
Absolutely. Yeah, I wanted to. I think I held on to it for like 2 months, and finally I was like, I can't hold it in no more. I'm about to explode. Oh,
Right.
Sean, do you eat bacon and eggs or just beef? Yes, so I do. I eat bacon. Well, I will have bacon on the weekends usually. I don't eat bacon a lot during the day. What I have every single day is a video that I'm making for the last 2 months that I've been telling everybody that's coming, and it's being edited, and it's been being edited, and I swear I'm gonna get it out. And it's eggs with butter and salt, and a ribeye about 2 o'clock with salt. So long story short, I have eggs, butter in the mornings, and a ribeye with butter and salt in the evenings is what I have every single day. So every once in a while I'll throw in some pork rinds. Every once in a while I'll go way off plan and have some Texas fajitas from when I eat off plan, but that's very rare. I mean, like very rare, but that's what I have whenever I do that. So, but yeah, I will have bacon occasionally, and I just for whatever reason lost my taste for bacon. Not that it's anything wrong with it. I ate it all the way up until probably I don't know, September, October of last year, and then I just for whatever reason I just didn't want it, and so I just kind of slacked off on it. Thank you for the question, though. What about you guys? How have your taste buds changed a bit since you've been on carnivore? Things you used to like, you don't like. I'm talking about as far as carnivore foods. Anything for you, Larry?
Yeah, for sure. I went probably as a 5 month period where I could not stomach any eggs at all, and now I've been devouring them, especially this past couple months. Well, after we tried the lion diet, I've been eating eggs every day, using Sean's Beth, his wife, her recipe.
Yeah.
Cassie tweaked it a little bit. We're still waiting on that video too, Sean. You got to get that edited, brother. But yeah, I've been, they're basically deviled eggs, and been eating a ton of them. I mean, Cassie's been making a batch almost every day. So that's probably the biggest change in my palate was couldn't stand eggs for a long time, and now I'm eating a lot of them. So pretty consistent with the bacon. I eat the same amount of bacon, and yeah, but a lot of ground beef too. So, Kip, what about you, brother?
Yeah, first off, Sean better hurry up and get that video out before Jesus comes back, because he's been holding off and holding off and holding off. And at this point, it's not a video. He's making a movie. He just ain't told us yet, and he's doing full-fledged production. But
Dude.
but anyway, I forget that made me forget what the question was. What was the question?
I don't remember.
I was asking if how your taste buds have changed since you come on carnivore. Like, did you used to like bacon, or did you used to like sardines, or did you used to like something carnivore food wise that your taste buds changed and now you don't like it?
Well, when I first started carnivore, I liked everything still. So after the first couple weeks, it started getting to where it was just meat. Uh, but at first, I was still okay with like pork chops and chicken and things like that. But eventually, the more I got into it, it became more of like I started craving steak. And so I would eat steak, and sometimes I would do burgers because that's a cheaper option to, smoke up some burgers and stuff. So I would start doing that, and that worked really well. And I would eat eggs every now and then, but I just don't crave eggs as much as other people do. And I used to love them, but I crave the beef more than anything. But I will say, since I've started walking some and jogging a little bit, because I was doing like 2 meals a day, and most of the time I still do 2 meals a day. But ever since I've started jogging some, like sometimes I'm like, it's not enough, and then I want that third meal. I'm like, give me some bacon. So I don't know if it's because I'm walking more and because I'm jogging more, and my body's just requiring a little bit more food or something. But like sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm like, well, about an hour or two after I wake up, I'm like, dude, where's the bacon at? So I'll eat some bacon and get that third meal in, where I used to just do two. I don't know why, but I think it's the walking and stuff.
Absolutely, and my taste buds changed dramatically. Let's see, I'm gonna jump back and grab some of these questions that other people been and stuff they've been putting up. I did want to mention that my metamorphosis. I seen your interview the other day, and let's see, Dr. Ken Berry has some great videos about NAFLD. Yeah, absolutely, he does. He's got a video on probably every issue that anybody could come up with. Honestly. Carnivore by the shore. I'm not giving away our steaks. No pterodactyl. You gonna fight a pterodactyl? I'm kind of with you on that. I probably would fight a pterodactyl over my steaks. And seriously, Marty, a pterodactyl comes after me, I'm gonna say go get Sean. He's been taunting you. And then obviously I saw a couple of these things. In February, my A1C was 13.4. Last A1C was 5.8. Next week, getting labs done again. Hey, that's
awesome.
Amazing. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Congratulations to you. That ought to give people hope and inspiration right there. What you got, Dave?
Oh no, I was just saying that's awesome. That's great.
I didn't know if you had anything else. I thought maybe you had something. That is amazing. It never gets old, guys. Sharing how these things have worked for you. There's going to be somebody one day that's going to be watching this video on one of these channels, and they're going to come along and they're going to see that, and it's going to spark some curiosity and some interest in their minds. And you might be the one that changed their life. You never know. Love the doc, but there's a different flow when he isn't here. It's probably the lack of all the clinical questions. Who knows? Right. Well, I mean, we don't have medical degrees, so we're just sharing what's in our heart with you, my friend, and from experience. So it's always good to get that vibe and that feel, because we love interacting with you guys, and we love, being with the community and sharing the journey with you guys. Lena, question: about 3 months after starting Carnivore, I started having a lot of bruising on my arms and legs. I just saw someone else mention that in another chat. Have you ever heard of that from Carnivore? As far as the bruising wise, you guys got anything on that?
I haven't heard anything about
no,
that.
I can't say anything to that. I've never heard one person say that's happened to him. So
where's Dr. Chafee when you need him?
I know, right whenever Brian said that, no, I'm just kidding. No, seriously, on a serious note though, seriously, sometimes the things that you experience when you're eating a carnivore diet has absolutely nothing to do with carnivore. So the one thing that I would suggest to you, that I think is probably what anybody on this panel would suggest, is if you're bruising and having issues that are abnormal for how you normally would respond to certain things after starting to eat carnivore, and it's a negative thing that's happening in that fashion, I would probably go see my doctor and be evaluated. Would probably be the best thing for you to do, because carnivore can reverse a lot of issues. It can help a lot of problems. It can do many, many things. It's not gonna give you the ability to walk on water or be a real Avenger. So it's definitely good to keep an eye on those things. And when things start happening, obviously inspect the food and what you're eating, look at the change, investigate it, ask the questions, but go get yourself checked out, talk to your doctor, see what your doctor has to say outside of the carnivore way of eating. It can be stuff that happens all the time that has nothing to do with the diet. A lot of people, for example, and some of the doctors would give this illustration as well. A lot of people have kidney stones that are too big to pass through the ducts for them to be able to pass them. Yet when they go to carnivore, ketogenic way of eating, it starts fixing the issue. So the kidney stones start shrinking, and therefore now are small enough to slide through the ducts to be able to be passed out of their system. Well, when does a kidney stone start hurting? When you're passing it and its rough edges are scraping down the tube coming out. And so you think you got a kidney stone while eating a strict carnivore diet, but you had the kidney stone, and Carnivore was shrinking it, making it better, and it was able to pass. And so it looks like it was caused by something that had nothing to do with it. So just keep that in mind, one way or the other. That's the best advice I can give to you. And just keep us posted. Hope it work. Hope you figure out some answers. Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, I just want to say Marnie Mack commented, our good friend, that Dr. Berry has answered the question about bruising before. So Lana, go check out Dr. Berry's channel.
Mm-hmm.
Type in, Dr. Kim Berry bruising, carnivore diet bruising, and see what he's got for you.
Absolutely. Hope you get the answers, my friend. I started taking vitamin C, but it didn't have any effect on it. Oh, okay. With the bruising, yeah, absolutely. Maybe, like I say, maybe it's a different issue. I'm sorry, I don't have any more than that, but definitely ask Dr. Berry or look at the videos. If you can't find it in one of the videos, absolutely go talk to a doctor, go talk to a healthcare professional and get assessed. It may be something, like I said, it has nothing to do with the way you're eating. Lindy, what's up, my friends? Good to see you. My HbA1c was 8.1 as of yesterday. It's 5. Congratulations. And
awesome.
That's great news. And I'll just share now, Lindy, we got that video. I did a video with Lindy. I'm editing it as well. I cannot wait for people to hear your story. And I know she's done a few, but she has an amazing story. She shared a few things, and you guys are really in for a treat with her, because she is so pleasant. She's so sweet. And she has some amazing results, and I can't wait to share that with you guys as well. So thank you for your time and for your heart, Lindy. You're just a sweet person, and it's good to see you sharing even yet more of your success with people. Never
she
stop.
have a channel, Sean? Because if so, I'll go check her out.
She doesn't. She says she is too busy. She got real life going on. She don't have time to be playing with all you clowns. No, she doesn't. She doesn't have a YouTube, and I asked her about that specifically because I would absolutely promote that. Because she's put a lot of work in and seen a lot of good stuff, and loves people and wants to share. She talks about it and shares it with people, and don't mind doing interviews and with people who have channels. But she's like a lot of us, she gets tied up with doing things with her sister, daughter, whatever, has dreams and stuff she wants to do. So I get that completely, but congratulations, my friend. Is McCormick's Himalayan pink salt with black pepper and garlic seasoning for steaks okay? Well, we just happen to have Carnivore Kip cast barbecue and cast iron here on the channel today. And what you got to say about that, brother?
Well, I mean, I hate going against Dr. Chafee, so I'm definitely not doing that, because I definitely respect his opinion, and I know that he's right and I'm wrong. So he would tell you if it's got black pepper in it to avoid it because of the oxalates, and he'd probably say avoid the garlic because of the trace amounts of carbs in it and stuff like that. So like if you're true, like 100% carnivore, I mean, you could just use salt with your meat or whatever. But me, I do use black pepper some, and I use garlic. So for most people, they would probably do okay and get good results and still have a good, long, healthy life using salt and pepper and garlic and things like that. But I mean, it just depends on how deep you want to get into it. If you just want to cut out everything and have just salt, that's really just a personal decision. And so you got to decide what you want to do. I have recently started trying what is it? White pepper, and it's pretty good too, because Dr. Chafee, when he was on here, he talked about it being lower in oxalates than black pepper. So I've been trying it and I like it, but I'm not as concerned about it right now because I'm not having major issues. Now, like if I was having issues like Sean was having with black pepper a while back, then I would just cut it out altogether because it's not worth my health. Anybody got anything they want to add to that? What about you, Dave?
Yeah, I would just say, kind of along the lines of what you said there. It comes down to the individual, I think. You know, if it was me, I'd probably be cutting everything out to start, and then I'd add it back in to see if I have a reaction to it or not. And then if there's no reaction, then you're good to go. Larry, any thoughts from you?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with both of you. What Dave said about eliminating everything and then bringing it back in. That's not always easy to do. If seasonings are make the diet sustainable for someone, then I always say, well, use a little seasoning and stick with the diet rather than completely going off the rails. But there was a period where I did the beef, butter, bacon, and eggs for a very long time, months, and I only had salt. And when I reintroduced seasonings, had no ill effects from it, but I still don't use them a whole lot. I mean, very rarely. Um, maybe a little garlic powder Cassie might use on something unless she's doing like a recipe video or something, but not much. It's usually just salt. But we always say you got to find what works for you. But that actually cutting everything out, like Dave said, for 30, 60 days, um, then that's really the only way you can find out once you reintroduce it. Clean out your system, start reintroducing, and see how they affect you. I did that with cheese, and I found out 100% that cheese causes inflammation, an incredible amount of inflammation in me. So yeah, just find out what works for you. And some people, they say they just cannot stick to the diet unless they have those just few extra flavors. So you got to find out, what your gig is. So good luck.
I missed some at the beginning, man, and I'm just hitting those before we close up shop because I know we're over an hour now and we're getting ready to wind it all down. But I did want to hit these because I passed them up completely. And whenever that super chat and I switched screens. So, Cindy, how many of you eat cheese? I think Larry just covered it. What about you, Dave? You have cheese?
I cut the cheese.
You cut the cheese.
Yeah, I haven't had cheese for about 3 months now.
Nice. Kit, what about you, buddy?
For the most part, I don't have cheese. Every now and then I do have cheese. Like I had some hot dogs the other day that had like a little bit of cheese on the inside. It was just one of those. I was at work and I didn't want what they had for lunch, and I was like, I forgot to meal prep the day before, so I went to the gas station and I got like hot dogs and it had like cheese on the inside. But I try not to go crazy with cheese. Sometimes when I'm out, if something's got a little cheese on it, like at the Mexican restaurant, I'll deal with it. But I will say when I do have cheese, it does stall me on the weight loss side of things. I can still feel great and still do good, and I don't have all kind of cravings afterwards or anything like that. But it does affect the scale for a few days to where I might go up a couple pounds or stay the same and not be able to drop for a little while. What about you, Larry?
Well, I already addressed it, but I will add to that, Cindy, that yeah, we really don't keep cheese in the house because if it's in the house, I will go in there and I mean, I love it. I love the taste of it. So, I'll definitely be having a cube here, a slice here. But if Cassie's doing recipes, she's actually like the recipe we were working on tonight, is quite a bit of cheese in it actually. And I told her, I'll take a couple bites to try it, but after that, no more, because it really holds me back and I don't feel 100% on it, but I love it. Sean?
Oh man, I've had cheese one time.
Wow.
And since April the 17th of 2022. And it was at my brother's house, like at Thanksgiving. They had one of those charcuterie board things, and I wrapped one of those little squares of cheese, the little thin squares, in a piece of a salami or whatever it was called, pepperoni or something like that. I wrapped it up, a piece of cheese up in that. But that's only time I've had cheese since I started eating this way. for whatever reason, man, if I, the only thing I have had was the Texas feeders. I have my one meal. That was my plan that I said, if I can't stick to this, that's what I'm going to have. And so that's what I have. And no cheese. I've never heard anybody have a lot of great results eating cheese and doing carnivore, trying to drop weight and reverse issues. So, maybe some people I'm sure have. Oh, just a few more. My sweet baby. Yes, baby, you can go live with me about the time you turn 30 when you can get married and drive and all those things too, sweetheart. No, she wants to go live so bad, and I don't. It's not. I'm weird about that, man. Like I don't mind you seeing me or talking to me or even meeting my family in public, whatever, But like just put my kids out there like that, I'm weird about that. Maybe I ain't. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't know. Oh, all right. Let's see here. And then John, obviously, any advice for my friend that use keto to kickstart his weight loss, only to eventually let all the carbs back in and regain all the weight? He can do really well on keto for a few weeks at a time.
I would encourage your friend to just keep kickstarting. Like your friend obviously knows that it's working, and probably feels better when he's doing it. It's just, the cravings overcome him from time to time, and like it does with all of us, especially when we're on keto at different times. One donut leads to lying under a box of donut crumbs. It happens, and so you just say, give it another go. Encourage him to give it another go. And every time you do it, it just gets that little bit easier. And then hopefully there's going to become a point, whether it's 2 months from now or 2 years from now, where he or she can just, stick to it. Oh, sorry. It says he can stick to it. Larry, do you have any thoughts on this one?
Yeah. I mean, if your friend's yo-yoing like that, doing really good for a week or two, then they blow it. Might want to I'm a food addict. I mean, basically a carb and sugar addict, and maybe really suggest accountability, John, to them, because I've seen accountability work wonders and miracles when it comes to heroin addicts, alcoholics, sugar and carb addicts. If you use accountability right, and have 2 or 3 people, 4 people that you can reach out to, your friend can reach out to when, they comes upon a struggle and they end up, blowing it. That accountability can really make a difference. So maybe mention that to them, encourage them to get into one of the groups. John, I think you're in both. I know you're in our group, but Sean's group. So, that might be the route to go. Kip?
I mean, honestly, when I was reading the question, the person that he's explaining was basically sounds just like me a few years ago, because I used to do that same thing. Because I loved the way I felt when I was doing keto, but there was so much back and forth. I would be like keto for a few weeks and then I would fall off the wagon, and keto for a few weeks and fall off the wagon. So I know exactly how that feels to be going back and forth and back and forth. And the good thing is your friend that keeps trying keto, he knows, or she, I can't, yeah, he knows that there's something to it, or else he would quit. He would have already quit trying. So he knows that there's something to it. He's just got to come to grips with the fact that, like, whenever you're doing keto, like, I mean, you're pretty much changing the way your body burns fuel. And if you're constantly going back and forth, like, your body's not knowing what to do. Your body's like, am I burning carbs or am I burning fat as my fuel source, what's going on? Your body's just constantly all over the place. I don't think it's going to like hurt you, but it's definitely not helping you and it's not going to help you get to wherever your goals are. So hopefully eventually your friend will be like, no, I've got to do this for real. And that's what I done one day. Like in January, I decided, okay, enough's enough. That's why I tried carnivore, because I got tired of going back and forth with keto, and I got tired of, because keto's so marketed, it's marketed so well by so many companies that have all these great tasting products that have keto labels on them, and not all that stuff is the best for you. And I don't say that being mean to people that do keto, because if keto's working for you, that's great. But that stuff kept tripping me up. Whereas now that I'm doing carnivore, like it's kind of hard to make some keto treat out of like steak. So, so like you're eating real food, and you're eating like meat and eggs and butter and tallow and things like that. And it's just hard to make a lot of different treats. And so that has helped me to get better with it and get over those cravings, because the longer you're away from that stuff, the easier that it gets. At least for me, after like a month or 2 months time, I started noticing, man, I've been going weeks and I haven't even been thinking about like Little Debbie's anymore. And it's amazing whenever you get to that point. And it may not happen the first time, but I just hope your friend keeps trying and don't give up, because you can get there. I think they're probably going to get there eventually, because they'll get tired of either going back and forth and back and forth. They'll either just completely give up, or they'll eventually go harder.
Yeah, I just want to add to that. Like when I remember walking into the store once my cravings were pretty much squashed, and just this sense of freedom, because I wasn't looking at the Little Debbie's or the apple pies, or it's just such a sense of freedom once you get over that. Just a little add on there.
I definitely agree with that.
sorry.
Like the freedom, the feeling of freedom is amazing. But sorry, could I just jump in and talk about the keto treats that Kip was talking about? So
Yes, sir.
I think one thing that we need to also remember is, I'm not 100% sure about this, but when a product is advertised as kind of low fat or low sugar or something like that, I think there are some kind of legal or regulatory parameters around what that means, right? You can't say low fat if it's not actually low fat or whatever, But I'm pretty sure that they're still playing fast and loose with what keto is. And, so that's another reason that, if you're on keto or you're on carnivore and you think, I'll just have that sneaky keto treat or whatever, you got to be really, really careful, because the manufacturers do not have our interests at heart,
Oh, 100%. And a lot of the stuff, like when you start investigating, a lot of that stuff, just because they slapped the word keto on it, there's nothing keto about that. Like it's keto if you eat the little corner off of the edge of whatever it is. Yeah, if you eat that little piece, yeah, it might be keto. You might get away with that if that's all you eat all day. It was like that little, like the crackers the size that you take communion at church or something. Like if you eat that in a day, that's the keto part of this design here. So and as long as you're eating a lot of those sugars and carbs on those types of foods, you're still gonna have those cravings. It's gonna be make life much more difficult for you. But at the same time, your friends got to come with it. So I like the accountability thing. I think that's probably a very, very, very good thing. Encourage them every chance you get. Maybe that's all they need. They need somebody to believe in them. That might be all that they need. And I'm sure John, being such a good dude that he does, and just let him know. Just encourage him, pick him up, keep pushing. Don't get tired of it, because it can get tiresome, but he needs you. So
I'd like to add one thing, that I'm a big fan of clean keto. I think clean keto is a very healthy way to eat for a lot of people. But like Dave said, and really everybody here, those keto treats, it's right, like the keto tortillas. I just don't, those things taste so good. And the way I feel afterwards, I just don't believe the label. I think there's more in there than they're telling us, because they are freaking excellent. You know what I mean?
It
So
tastes like real tacos or real
they do.
tortillas.
Absolutely. So
I'm gonna tell you right now, you guys brought that up, and if y'all don't stop talking about tacos and fajitas, I swear we're gonna fight tonight on the screen in front of all these people. No, my wife actually was looking at those at the store. She comes home, she's like, "So I was looking at the keto wraps for the fajitas, and I was like,
so good,
woman." She's like, and they're only like 10 carbs or 20 carbs in there. I'm like, listen, when I have my Texas fajitas, I want my Texas fajitas. Don't be trying to feed me no off the wall stuff. Just go to the store and get what I get and bring it home and let's go. Just like everybody else. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, they might be amazing. You got to pick your battles. I absolutely, you talk about clean keto. That's what I wanted my mom to do. Because I know that the ketogenic spectrum, if you can get started on it, that's all a lot of people need. And some people can thrive right there in keto. They never have to tighten it up. So it's all about your body and how it responds to what you're doing. And if it's working for you, fantastic. Thank God. And and thank your whatever. You're a lucky individual. However, if it's not, keep searching for answers, keep checking things out, find out what does. You may have to go all the way. Poor Michaela Peterson. I always know we use her as an example, but if she didn't eat lion diet, she would be in a world of mess right now. She has to, because of her health issues. If she strays from it, I think she was able to reintroduce a few other little things into her diet, but it wasn't very much. And so that may be where some people are. You never know until you try it. So you got to figure that out, and that's for you to answer. I'm gonna hit these super chats, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Homesick Buckeye says, did somebody say clown? Shout out from the Keto Summit in Orlando. Hey man, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. Hope all's well with you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Bezos said, did my super chat get lost or did I miss it? You missed it. You got to rewind about, I don't know, an hour and however many minutes. We did hit it at the very beginning about the haters. We spent a minute on that. So we got you, buddy. And the super sticker, Carnivore by the Shore. Thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Dave, you got anything that you want to close out and say before we wrap it up, sir?
Very similar to last week. I really enjoyed being on these lives with you guys. I appreciate your friendship, and I appreciate everyone logging in to give us questions and chat and stuff. It's great. Kip, how about you?
I was just going to say it's always an encouragement to get together with y'all, because like in my personal life, none of my family's carnivore. Well, one of my cousins is carnivore now. He's been carnivore for about 3 weeks. So other than that, I mean, I have the people on YouTube, and then I have y'all. And so it's great every week to get on here and do this. And for those of y'all that watch the chat live, thank you. And those that are watching it afterwards, we appreciate that as well. And it's good to chat with y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. What about you, Larry?
Hey, honored to be here with you guys. Had a great time. Always do. It's such a treat to have like Dr. Chafee on, and have our viewers on Carnivore Quest get to ask him some questions. But this kind of vibe here where we're just hanging out, I love it. I really dig this, and I really think this type of interaction helps people just as much, on another level. So thank you for everybody for watching. And guys, remember, no sugar, no carbs, and no cheating. Sean?
Absolutely, man. I have a blast with you guys. You know how I feel about you guys. I try to remind y'all often, and probably not as often as I should, but I appreciate you guys. You guys are all special to me for different reasons and different times, but not any less than the others. And I always enjoy getting together and hanging out, having that camaraderie and interaction between us and that fellowship, and being able to share this moment in time in this journey with you guys is phenomenal to me. And I always look forward to it. And I feel like it not only helps the people that get to watch this, but it helps me. And I'm honored to be a part of it, and I'm thankful for it. And I look forward to it. And the next time, obviously, I will look forward to that as well. Like Larry said, you know, Dr. Chafee, it's always awesome to get him and get his perspective and get his stuff on here. And this was amazing just the same, and for different reasons as well. And I love the vibe, man. This is kind of the interaction, the chat, the vibe, kind of what I want to go with, and what I like. So, and I hope everybody, if you guys liked it, that are watching this now, watching this after the live goes off, if you don't mind, hit that like button. Go down in the comment section of wherever you are right now, no matter what channel you're on, and leave a comment right there. Just what it meant to you, what you learned, what you didn't like, what you did like, what you would like to see. We would love to hear some feedback from you on the channel that you're at. Then once you do that, go to the other channel, subscribe, and leave a comment and tell us you love us too. So we all want to hear it. So we appreciate you guys. For you guys that are in the chat week after week, you guys are what, you know, it means a lot to us too, and you guys keep it going. We appreciate you guys. We get to know you guys and recognize you guys. And oftentimes, I know I miss, but I'm doing a lot better. I feel like it recognizing you guys and calling you out, and looking forward to seeing you guys, and grateful that you're part of the community as well. And we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, you guys stay strong. Like you said, no cheating, and keep pushing forward. We love you guys. Good night.
Night.
Take care.
Cheers, guys.